is targeting people across the Bay Area. People answer an unknown number and
Your voice is your identity. And right now, AI scammers need just a few seconds of it to build a flawless digital clone, one that sounds so much like you, it can fool your own family. These scammers are getting smarter and braver. AI voice cloning tools can capture a few seconds of speech and recreate your voice, tone, pitch, emotion, everything. In fact, a simple hello on a phone call can give scammers enough audio to start building a clone. But what if you could protect yourself without saying a single word? In this video, you'll be learning these 7 genius call screening strategies that will make you a near impossible target, starting today. The 3-second heist. How scammers are stealing voices before you say goodbye. Most people hang up on a suspicious call feeling relieved. Phew, got away from that one. But what they don't realize is, the damage was already done in the first 3 seconds. That's not an exaggeration. That's the new reality of AI-powered voice cloning, and it is moving faster than most cybersecurity experts predicted. According to a 2023 McAfee report, 77% of voice scam victims reported financial loss, with 1 in 10 Americans saying they had personally been targeted by an AI voice cloning scam. That number has only climbed since. The question is no longer if someone will try this on you, it's when. Here's what's actually happening behind the scenes. When you answer an unknown call and say, "Hello, who is this?" you've just handed a scammer a usable voice sample. Modern AI voice cloning tools like 11 Labs, Resemble AI, and even free open-source software can take that 3 to 5 second audio clip and generate an endlessly reusable replica of your voice within minutes. The pitch, the tone, the cadence, all of it captured and weaponized from a single word. And before you think I'd never fall for that, neither did Ruth Card. In 2023, the Saskatchewan grandmother received a frantic phone call from what she was completely convinced was her grandson Brandon, crying and saying he was in jail and needed bail money. She and her husband rushed to the bank and withdrew $3,000 cash before a bank manager, hearing this kind of story for the second time that week, stopped them at the counter. The voice she heard wasn't Brandon. It was a clone, built from clips of his real voice scraped from social media. That story isn't an outlier, it's a preview. What makes this especially dangerous is the pipeline. Scammers aren't manually recording your calls, they're running automated dialing systems that call thousands of numbers per hour. When you pick up and speak, the system records your response, flags it as a usable sample, and stores it. You never even know it happened. Days, weeks, or months later, that cloned voice gets deployed, calling your elderly mother, your employer, or your bank. This is why the conventional advice of just don't answer calls from strangers is no longer enough. The act of answering and speaking, even to say wrong number, is enough to feed the machine. According to the FTC's 2023 Consumer Sentinel Network data book, Imposter Scams, the category that includes voice cloning fraud, cost Americans $2.7 billion in 2023 alone. That's a billion with a B. So the fight starts before you open your mouth. Actually, it starts before you even decide whether to speak. And that's exactly what the next 7 strategies are built around, giving scammers nothing to work with while you stay completely in control. Strategy 1. How silence is your superpower. There's a reason elite intelligence operatives are trained to say as little as possible on unsecured lines. Information, including the sound of your voice, is a resource. And just like any resource, the less you give away, the less anyone can use against you. You don't have to be a spy to borrow that logic, you just have to understand one uncomfortable truth. Every word you say on an unknown call is a gift to whoever is listening. Most people feel socially pressured to speak the moment they answer a phone. Silence feels awkward, rude even. That instinct is completely human, and scammers know it. They count on it. Automated scam systems are specifically designed to prompt a vocal response within the first few seconds, because without it, their software has nothing to process. Your discomfort with silence is literally part of their business model. So here's the reframe that changes everything. Silence isn't passive. Used deliberately, it is one of the most active, powerful things you can do on a call. This brings us to the first genius strategy, the 10-second rule. The mechanics are almost insultingly simple. You receive a call from an unknown number. You answer it, but you say absolutely nothing. No, hello. No, who is this? Not even a breath if you can help it. You just listen. For 5 to 10 seconds, you wait. Here's what happens on the other end. The vast majority of robocall and scam dialing systems are programmed to detect a human voice within a specific window. No voice detected? The system registers a deadline, flags your number as unanswered, and moves on automatically. You never gave them a syllable. They got nothing. According to the Robocall Index published by YouMail, Americans received approximately 4.6 billion robocalls in January 2024 alone, nearly 150 million per day. Almost all of those calls are automated, and almost all of those automated systems share the same fatal weakness. They need you to speak first. The 10-second rule exploits that weakness every single time. Now, what about real callers? Won't they hang up too? Occasionally, yes, and that's fine. Any legitimate caller, a doctor's office, a delivery driver, a real person with real business will either stay on the line, speak first, or call back. Real people are patient. Automated scam systems are not. The 10-second rule sorts them out for you without a single word leaving your lips. Take the experience of James Doyle, a small business owner in Austin, Texas, who started using this method after nearly falling victim to a vendor impersonation scam in late 2022. "I stopped saying hello and just listened," he told USA Today in a 2023 feature on phone scams. "About 80% of the weird calls just dropped. The ones that mattered, someone always spoke up." Silence is not surrender. It is the calculated decision to deny scammers the raw material they need before they've even introduced themselves. And that's just the beginning of what you can do without uttering a word. Strategy 2. The mute button hack. Most people think the mute button is for hiding background noise during a work call. But in the context of scam protection, it is something far more powerful. It is a one-way mirror. You see everything, they see nothing. Here's the strategy. The moment you answer a call from an unknown number, before you say a single word, hit mute. Instantly. Don't hesitate. Don't say hello first. Don't even clear your throat. Just answer and mute in one fluid motion. From that point, you can hear everything happening on their end. The script, the background call center noise, the automated prompt, while they receive complete silence from you. Nothing they can record, isolate, or clone. What makes this smarter than simply ignoring the call is that you stay informed. You get to listen. If the caller turns out to be someone legitimate, your pharmacist, a contractor returning your call, a number you simply didn't have saved, you unmute, engage normally, and carry on. No harm done. But if it's a scam call, you hang up having given them absolutely zero usable audio. This matters more than most people realize. According to the Identity Theft Resource Center's 2023 Annual Data Breach Report, voice-related fraud incidents increased by 58% between 2022 and 2023. Scammers are scaling up. The mute button hack is one of the simplest ways to scale your defense right alongside them. The practical step is this. Go into your phone's accessibility or side button settings right now and make muting a call as frictionless as possible. On an iPhone, the mute button appears on screen the moment a call connects. Top left, one tap. On Android, it sits in the same call interface. Practice the motion before you need it. Muscle memory is the goal. Think of every unknown call as a door that someone is knocking on. The mute button lets you look through the peephole without making a single sound that tells them you're home. Scammers rely on reaction. Your job is to replace reaction with intention, and this one tap does exactly that. Strategy 3. The TV shield. If silence is your first weapon, noise is your second. And the beautiful thing about this strategy is that it turns something you already have sitting in your living room into an active defense mechanism against some of the most sophisticated audio capture software on the market. Here's the tactic. If you answer an unknown call and there's any chance you might need to speak, or if you simply want an extra layer of protection beyond muting, hold your phone next to a television or radio that's already on. Doesn't matter if it's a news broadcast, a cooking show, or a music station. What matters is the layered, unpredictable audio it produces. Here's why it works. AI voice cloning software doesn't just need your voice, it needs a clean sample of your voice. The algorithms that tools like 11 Labs and Resemble AI use to build voice models are designed to isolate a single speaker from background audio. But that isolation process has limits. When the background noise is complex, dynamic, and overlapping, the way live television audio is, the software struggles to cleanly separate your voice from the surrounding sound. What it captures becomes too corrupted to build an accurate model from. You've essentially handed them a useless file. According to a 2023 study published by researchers at the University of Chicago, the same team behind the audio protection tool Anti-Fake, adversarial audio interference can reduce voice cloning accuracy by up to 95%. That's not a marginal improvement. That's near total protection from a single environmental adjustment. The specific move here is deliberate, not accidental. Before you answer a suspicious call, turn your TV or radio on if it isn't already, or step into a room where one is running. Hold the phone so the speaker is within a foot of the audio source. You can still hear the caller clearly through your earpiece. They, however, are getting a wall of mixed audio that renders any voice sample they capture essentially unusable. This is simple physics working in your favor. The scammer came looking for a clean recording. The TV gave them a mess, and that mess just protected you. Strategy 4. Delete your voicemail greeting. Most people record a voicemail greeting once and never think about it again. Friendly, warm, personalized, exactly the way any good communicator would want it. But here is the part nobody tells you. That greeting is a publicly accessible, high-quality, always available recording of your voice that any scammer can pull the moment they dial your number. Think about what a voicemail greeting typically contains. Your name, spoken clearly, a full sentence or two in your natural tone and cadence. Sometimes even your schedule, "I'm away until Monday." For a voice cloning operation, that is a gift handed in a shiny gift wrap. A scammer can call your number at 2 a.m., record your greeting, hang up, and have a workable voice model built before breakfast. This is one of the most overlooked vulnerabilities in personal cybersecurity and one of the easiest to close. According to Hiya's 2023 State of the Call report, 28 billion spam calls were placed in the United States in 2022, many of them operating as data harvesting runs designed to collect voice samples at scale rather than immediately execute a scam. Your voicemail greeting is a passive entry point into that pipeline. The fix takes less than 2 minutes. On an iPhone, open the phone app, tap voicemail in the bottom right corner, then tap greeting in the top left. Select default and save. Your carrier's generic computerized voice now answers for you, anonymous, robotic, and completely useless to any cloning software. On Android, open the phone app, tap the three-dot menu, go to Settings, then Voicemail, then Greeting, and select the system default. The exact path varies slightly by carrier, but searching Change Voicemail Greeting to Default plus your carrier name will give you the precise steps. Legitimate callers will leave one. Scammers almost never do, and even if they try, they'll have nothing of yours to take with them. You've been leaving that door unlocked without realizing it. This is how you close it. Strategy 5. The hidden iPhone setting that stops scammers before your phone even rings. Most iPhone users have never touched this setting. It ships turned off by default, buried just deep enough in the menus that the average person never stumbles across it. But for anyone serious about protecting their voice from cloning scams, it is arguably the single most powerful native tool Apple has quietly built into every iPhone, and it works without you lifting a finger after setup. The feature is called Silence Unknown Callers, and what it does is exactly what the name suggests, only better than you might expect. When enabled, any incoming call from a number not saved in your contacts, not in your recent outgoing calls, and not surfaced by Siri from your emails or messages, goes directly to voicemail, silently. Your phone never rings, your screen never lights up, you never feel the pressure to answer. And critically, you never speak. The scammer's automated system dials your number, hits voicemail, your new generic voiceless greeting, and moves on. They got nothing. You didn't have to do anything. According to Apple's own privacy documentation and independent analysis by the cybersecurity firm Lookout in their 2023 Mobile Threat Landscape Report, mobile phishing and voice-based attacks targeting iPhone users rose by 27% in 2023, making native call filtering tools more critical than ever before. Here are the exact steps. Open Settings on your iPhone. Scroll down and tap Phone. Scroll until you see Silence Unknown Callers and toggle it on. That's 3 taps. Done. From this moment forward, your phone becomes dramatically harder to reach by anyone who isn't already in your life. The concern most people raise is, what if someone important is trying to reach me for the first time? It's a fair question with a simple answer. Real people with real reasons to contact you will leave a voicemail, a doctor's office, a job callback, a new client, all of them will leave a message. You call back, you save the number, and they're in your contacts from that point on. The system self-corrects naturally. What it doesn't let through is the flood of automated dialers harvesting voice samples at scale. 3 taps. That's all that stands between you and a significantly safer phone. Strategy 6. how Google Assistant answers scam calls, so you never have to. iPhone users have silence unknown callers. Android users have something arguably even more sophisticated, a tool that doesn't just block unknown callers, but actively interrogates them on your behalf while you watch the entire conversation unfold in real time. And most Android users have no idea it exists. The feature is called Call Screen, and it is built directly into the Google Phone app on most Android devices running Android 6.0 or higher. When an unknown number calls, instead of answering yourself, you tap a single button, screen call, and Google Assistant picks up on your behalf. It announces itself as a screening service, asks the caller to state their name and reason for calling, and then transcribes their response live on your screen, word by word, as they speak. You watch, you read, you decide. And through the entire exchange, you have said absolutely nothing. Not one syllable has left your mouth. Whatever the caller records, whatever their system captures, it is Google Assistant's synthesized voice, completely useless for cloning your identity. This is not a third-party app you need to find and download. It is already on your phone. According to Google's own Android Security Transparency Report, Call Screen has helped users identify and deflect hundreds of millions of suspected spam calls since its rollout, with the feature's accuracy improving continuously through machine learning updates. The exact activation path is straightforward. Open the phone app on your Android device. Tap the three-dot menu in the top right corner and select Settings. Tap Spam and Call Screen, then enable Call Screen. On Pixel devices specifically, you can also enable Auto Screen for numbers flagged as likely spam, meaning Google Assistant answers those automatically without you even needing to tap anything. Your voice is what scammers are hunting. Call Screen ensures they never get close enough to hear it. Let the assistant take the call. You just read the transcript and decide. Strategy 7. Fake accent trick. Every strategy so far has been built around one goal: don't speak. But real life isn't always that clean. Sometimes you're waiting on a critical callback from an unfamiliar number, a specialist's office, a contractor, an overseas colleague, and ignoring every unknown call simply isn't an option. So what do you do when silence isn't available as a shield? You give them a voice, just not yours. This is the fake accent strategy, and while it sounds almost comically simple, the logic behind it is airtight. Remember what scammers actually need: a clean, accurate sample of your authentic voice, your natural pitch, your specific tonal patterns, the unique acoustic fingerprint that makes you sound like you. If what you give them instead is a heavily affected accent, a completely different vocal register, or even a few sentences in another language entirely, the sample they capture is not only useless, it actively contaminates their dataset. The practical execution is straightforward. Answer the call. Before saying a single word in your normal voice, commit to a character. A thick southern drawl, a formal British accent, a completely different language if you speak one. Maintain it for the first 30 seconds, long enough to establish whether the call is legitimate. If it's your doctor's office, you can drop it, laugh it off, and handle your business. If it's a scammer, they've walked away with a corrupted, unclonable file. Scammers are counting on your reflexes: the automatic hello, the polite response, the 3 seconds of normalcy that hands them everything they need. Now you know better. Which of these did you not know about before reading this? Be honest, was it the voicemail greeting one? Because that one surprises almost everyone. Tell us in the comments which strategy you're activating first. If this helped you, do this right now. Someone in your life, a parent, a sibling, a friend, is one hello away from having their voice cloned and used against them. They just don't know it yet. Like this, share it with them, and subscribe so you never miss the next piece of intel that could keep you and your people safe.